Hey y'all, welcome to season 1 of the Pretty Aligned podcast, the space where we shift perspectives, reframe the way we think, and step into alignment with who we're truly meant to be. I'm your host, Octavia Darling, and every week we'll have real conversations that help you reset your mindset, overcome limiting beliefs, and create a life that feels good from the inside out. So grab your coffee, tea, your journal, or just your open mind and get ready to receive. I have spent many years of my life being held back by the limiting beliefs that I was placing on myself. From self-sabotage to imposter syndrome, I was literally stuck in a constant loop of self-destruction. After failing many times, I eventually realized that the reason I wasn't changing was because my mindset hadn't. I then became devoted to learning about the power we actually have over our minds and how we can create our reality based on what we think. This, of course, is an ongoing journey and daily practice, but every time I find myself slipping back into the old way of thinking, by the way, this will happen because it's a comfort zone that our minds associate itself with, I enforce reframing techniques to immediately shift my mind to focus on the greater good. This is why my mom refers to me as her silver lining child. So with that being said, I am on a mission to teach people how to remove the mental blockages and align with the best version of themselves. Will you join me? This episode is titled, Welcome to the Reset for a Few Reasons. People often see Q4 as a last chance to finish strong before the year ends, or for more relatable terms, lock in on their goals. It's a reflective season where you analyze what worked and what didn't. And overall, they develop the burning desire to become their best selves while elevating their lives. If this sounds like you, then you're in the right place. So some examples could be reaching a personal fitness goal, increasing your streams of income, or launching a new business. Now, I personally love to see the shift amongst society during this season because it's always quite amusing. You have a group of people that set unrealistic goals and want immediate results. And on the contrary, you have those who set realistic goals but forget to create actionable steps to reach them. Now, I must ask, do you fall in one of these categories, or do you stand out by doing the opposite? A reset isn't just about to-do lists. It's about mindset and perspective. For example, how does the version of you who has already reached their fitness goal live their lives? What type of meals do they eat? How often do they work out? What are their daily habits and routines? This is the perspective that I encourage you to think from for each goal. You have a choice to make. You can either see the last stretch of the year as opportunity or pressure. So I must ask, what aligns best with you? One of the most common mistakes people make is waiting until the last week of the year to make a drastic change. Please, don't stress yourself out by doing that. You can literally start aligning yourself with your goals today. So I researched how long it takes to build a habit, and here's what I found. Per Google, building a habit doesn't have a single fixed time frame. Research shows it can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days, with an average of 66 days for a behavior to become automatic. This varies based on the complexity of the habit and individual differences. So, the popular belief that it takes 21 days to form a habit is a myth. Now, imagine how unstoppable you'd be if you allowed yourself 90 days to form healthy habits instead of 30. Habits built now flow naturally into the next year. So instead of rushing resolutions on January 1st, you'll already have a rhythm. And I'm going to use fitness as an example again. If you want to eat healthier, start with one intentional meal a day from now. Then gradually add to that. So by January, it's second nature. So here are three practical tips for a successful reset. 1. Declutter and reflect. Clear out your mental and physical clutter. I want you to ask yourself, what do I need to release in order to create space for what aligns? Tip number 2, choose 1 to 2 key priorities and don't overwhelm yourself with 10 goals. So focus on the shifts that will make the biggest impact and then create 2 to 3 actionable steps per goal. And lastly, create a daily reset ritual. This can look like journaling in the mornings, expressing gratitude, meditating, reflecting, praying, something that allows you to feel like you're resetting. So my advice is to anchor your day with intention. For example, my intention for today is to work out until failure, eat 3 healthy meals, and go to bed earlier. Now I have a guide for how I want to operate my day and what I intend to accomplish. All right, let's turn up the heat a little and slide into the hot seat coaching segment where I coach through a situation that needs a serious reframe. Here's the scenario. I always start the year motivated, but by fall, I feel stuck and unaccomplished. How do I reset without feeling like I failed? Okay, first and foremost, can we all wrap our heads around the idea of failure? Because failure does not have to be a negative thing. It literally can be a beautiful thing, right? Hear me out. Failure is just the indicator that you tried. You tried. It's not about succeeding every time. It's about mustering up the courage to take that leap of faith, to make things happen, right? So what if you start the year motivated, but you always fall off? We're humans. We're supposed to fall off. Life is not about being perfect. Life is not about getting it right every single time. It's about having different experiences based on what we choose to try, what we have faith in, right? So here's a few tips. First and foremost, Q4 is the perfect time to reset, as I've mentioned before. Why? Because you've had the time to reflect on what worked and what didn't. So now you get to determine, oh, okay, so I did like how I had morning routines because this kept me on track with my daily goals. I did like how I used to meal prep because this helped me to save money by not eating out all the time. I also liked how I set aside time to, work on my personal business or creative projects. I like how I journaled often and things like that. You see where I'm going with this? You get to reflect and you get to determine what small habits you want to continue that creates momentum. So, one thing about motivation is people rely on it way too much. Motivation cannot be your driving force, okay? Because you're not going to always feel motivated to stick to your daily routines. You're not going to always feel motivated to do your meal prepping. You're not going to always feel motivated to work on your business or do your 5 to 9 after your 9 to 5. It's just not going to be there, right? What I want you to wrap your mind around is your desire. What is that burning desire? Your burning desire could be, okay, I've been with this company for 5 years now, and I haven't seen much growth. I'm ready to pivot into becoming a full time entrepreneur. But what necessary steps do I need to take to get there? How does my life look as a full time entrepreneur? Instead of waiting for you to become an entrepreneur before you take those necessary steps, start incorporating those daily habits and routines now. The reset comes in by you shifting your mindset. You don't have to wait until you receive what you're praying for. You can start making preparation now, right? So, what you want to do is map out everything that worked and everything that didn't. And show yourself grace during this process, because now you're reminding yourself, you know what? I'm human. I'm human. And all of this is just showing progress. All of this is just showing effort. This is just showing that I keep trying. And when you keep trying, eventually something is going to click. Something is going to click. And once it clicks, it sticks, right? For me, a personal example would be, I have tried many times to find a flow that is conducive to my lifestyle, that actually shows progress without me feeling like I'm just doing busy work and there is no results to show for what I'm doing, right? Something that I used to do quite often is I used to just put so many items on my calendar to feel like I'm being productive. But in reality, I was just doing stuff to say that I was doing stuff and that I was utilizing my time wisely. There was no results being shown for it. So after much trial and error, I noticed that where I was going wrong was I was creating tasks, but I didn't have the actionable steps to go along with it. And so I found myself just making these huge lists. And y'all, I have the receipts to show for it, okay? Just making these huge lists of things to do. Oh, okay. So today I want to design some templates for Instagram. I also want to edit these pictures that I took for the clients. And then I also want to create a promo video to say that I'm accepting new photo shoots. And then I also want to build my website. You see how it was just like I was jumping just all over the place? There was like no real structure, and I just felt like I was staying on go, but there was really no motion at all. I wasn't getting anywhere, right? So what did I do? I took time to reflect. I took time to reset, and then I started with implementing small habits that created momentum. So I love my morning routines because it sets the tone for my day. Okay, if you like your morning routines, Octavia, what is the time block for that? What does that look like? Oh, I like waking up at 4 a.m. Okay, you like waking up at 4 a.m. But what are you doing in the morning to set the tone for the day? You like doing your morning pages where you journal as soon as you wake up. You like meditating. You like going to the gym. You like doing your morning walks. You like having healthy breakfasts in the mornings. And you like having your skincare routine, right? Those are 6 things. So if there's 6 things that I like to do in the mornings that sets the tone for the day, how long does it take me to do those 6 things? And y'all, let me just say, baby, your girl takes 5 hours to do those 6 things, 5 hours on average. So from 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. each morning, I dedicate that time to fill my own cup. That's when I do those small habits. And guess what? Every time I intentionally map out and block out that time to dedicate to myself, my days just go so much better than the days when I don't. And I'm being honest, because what's happening is I'm repeating the cycle, right? So repetition is what creates success. You have to be repetitive. And this is the kicker. If you're repetitive on healthy habits, you're going to see the progress and you're going to get the success that you're seeking. But if you're repetitive on poor habits, you're going to see how your life declines and you're not getting closer to the goal. You're actually moving further away from it. So it go hand in hand. It's all about discovering what works best for you and embracing the idea of I'm trying. I'm trying. Every day you just want to try. You have that burning desire of what you want to overall accomplish. So keep trying. Don't give up. So what if you feel like you failed? Keep failing. Allow yourself to fail. Failing is beautiful because failing shows you gave it all you got and it still didn't work. Okay, so what can I do differently next time? So my tips for you, additional to what I just shared, is don't wait for motivation. Okay? Motivation cannot be your driving force. You have to be very clear on what it is that you're calling in. What are you seeking? What are your goals? And use that burning desire to take the actionable steps. All right, love, that wraps up today's hot seat coaching. But now it's your turn. What's going on in your world that needs a reframe? I encourage you to send your scenario to me, and I just might coach you on this podcast. The link to the submission form is listed in the show notes. Here's a little note to self and you. I saw a quote that says, "Your subconscious mind learns through repetition, not logic. Tell it who you are until it has no choice but to believe." Remember, you have the power to reframe your mindset and create the reality that you desire. It's never too late to make changes. So use the rest of this year to prepare and position yourself for everything you desire in 2026. So I must ask, what area of your life feels ready for a reset this season? Please feel free to share your answers with me on social media or by leaving a comment on this episode. I welcome you to join the Pretty Aligned community where like-minded individuals connect, receive valuable resources, and live group coaching sessions from yours truly, Coach Darling. I also offer one-on-one coaching opportunities for creative entrepreneurs. And by the way, I, along with my dear friend Bobby Soul, who is a certified life coach, will be hosting a live virtual event on December 7th called Plan Your Profitable 2026. Oh my gosh, y'all, we will be dropping so many gems on how to align your mind with the lifestyle that you're calling in. So early bird tickets for this event goes on sale November 7th of 2025. So make sure that you add this reminder to your calendar because trust me, this is an event that you don't want to miss. Thank you for hanging out with me today on the Pretty Aligned podcast. I hope something in this episode gave you a fresh perspective or a new way to see yourself. Remember, small shifts create big change. If you loved today's conversation, share this with a friend who needs it and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next reset. Until then, keep aligning, keep growing, and keep becoming the best version of you.